Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Loring, and I am traveling, so I am out and about in the world and doing my thing. I'm like I said, I'm traveling. I'm visiting some family in Rhode Island, in England, and so I'm on the road. And it's been holidays, and I haven't really had time to like work with the cards for myself, let alone anybody else. So, I did do a little work on them Friday. But at any rate, I figured I would go ahead and do the cards now that I'm traveling. We'll see what comes up. And I also got a brand new deck. I got the Blessed Bee deck. So we're going to pull one from here. Actually, let's do that right now. We'll clear my energy after driving 300 some miles. So the energy from the cards. I did my meditation already this morning, but we'll see what comes up. What are the messages that we have? This is actually a deck, like I said, it's called Blessed Bee by Lucy Cavendish. And there's actually a separate artist, but I don't know her name. It's a woman. I think her name is Jane something or another. But at any rate, the deck is by Lucy Cavendish, and I'm pretty excited about it. There was a card that came up in another reader who I follow. It was a really nice blessing, and they're basically Celtic blessings for whatever the situation is. So I'd like a card based on the energies that we have going on for us today. What are the energies that we have? Clear my energy. So I'm pulling something for the collective that we can all work with. What blessing do we have? They're brand new cards, so they're a little sticky. This one here. A blessing to lift sadness is the card that came up. A blessing to lift sadness. That's an interesting card. And this is the number 30 card. And what's the numerology on today's date? The 4th. What is today? The 22nd? So, no, actually, I think today's the 23rd. So 4 plus 2 is 3, is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus another 9 is 21. So 2 and 1 is 3. And that's interesting that we would get a card with the number 30 on it. So we'll look at the numerology on that. In fact, let me go get my book for that. This one actually came up. Somebody pulled this card the other day. So the numerology, the number 30 is of the Ascended Masters for sure. It's like keep your thoughts positive, and you are fully supported by God and the Ascended Masters. Step forward confidently in the direction of your dreams. And when you break that down, it's 3. That's the Ascended Masters are helping you. Maybe one that you feel particularly drawn to work with, Jesus, Kuan Yin, a saint, or some other spiritual religious figure. But it's definitely a new beginning. It's a doorway, and it's a number of service as well. So check and see. I think the message with that would be, a blessing to lift sadness. A lot of times if we're in a sad space, look within to see. I see her cloaked, and I see a moth here in this particular card, and a lot of purples. Go within. Try to get to the root of what it is that is causing that. And confront the darkness. We just had a fabulous full moon that was more about like the dark side of us. Go within. See what's holding you back. Do something that is of service to others in order to come, to sort of extend yourself forward. And when we are of service to others, we get back, and oftentimes if we can sort of like reflect within, but also look around us to see what clues that we can gain that will help us understand more about what it is that we are experiencing. A blessing to lift the sadness that cloaks you, yet retain the wisdom and lesson it has come to teach you. Sadness is a strange friend, a gloomy mist of feelings that moves through you, softly stilling the growth and dampening the fire within. It can feel like a death, this farewell to joy, yet within its sorrow there awaits for you great gifts. So when the time comes for sadness to move on, we ask for this blessing to allow it to move slowly, to allow it to slowly, softly lift from you, a diver who has been down deep beneath the oceans. And as you rise, may it be slow enough that you can adjust to the happiness that will begin to flower again in your heart. You know, one thing that came up for me during my meditation and has been coming up is this slow growth. And I think that we all think that we need to be on a far more accelerated path. And we are also receiving those messages. I think that message is clearly out there that this is a time of ascension. We are moving forward. I think we can all feel a shift in consciousness overall, but that doesn't mean that we need to necessarily step into it at the pace that everybody else is, or some perceived pace. That's been coming up a lot. So whatever sort of, you know, if you've got something that's going on, address it, because you will move it by taking your cloak off, taking the cloak off the sadness and understanding it and addressing it is you will get further and faster if you address it first and foremost. So there's that. May you rise. Let's see. May your breath become deeper, your smile begin to light up your face again. May your eyes widen and sparkle with the wonder of all that is about you. And may your limbs find joy and movement once again. May you rise, and with that rising, bring with you the teachings of the sadness you have experienced, yet be free from the heaviness that has weighed you down so far below that you seem to part from other people. May you rejoin others and find pleasure in company once again and find solace in the sharing of your experiences. May you not hate the sorrow that came to stay a while, but know its presence brought you something holy, a lasting compassion for the sufferings of others, and the sure knowledge that as you once once went below, you shall surely rise. And if it comes to stay again, you will not fear its permanence, for it is temporary in its companionship. And you will again become a creature of gladness to balance the time you have spent within the cave of sorrowful knowledge. Be blessed as the sadness lifts, and when that morning breaks and you feel light and glad and laughter bubbles up from within, remember that the wheel turns, and take the joy and shine it out to the world. Your candle is relit, friend. It is time to brighten all who meet you with the presence of your light. So this is already calling for, this card's already saying that actually this sadness has passed. Be of service. That number 30 is be of service. And that's a really good way to find, to find purpose in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle from the Shadowscapes Tarot deck. And let's see what we have. And I will do a meditation on the cards and post that on Instagram. So the fuller meditation and written guidance that I get, anything that's channeled from the cards that come today. Again, clear my energy. I call in the divine masters, all powers of purest white light, Jesus, dear Lord, Mother Mary, Holy Spirit, to come in, help us with the cards, the messages, share messages through the cards today that can help us be in our most divine power, our most best service to others in our place of recognition that we are moving at our right pace and that we are just fine. Any messages? Okay, what do we have? The death card. That is very interesting. The death card came up. So again, this is a Phoenix rising, and that's what this card is all about. It's about this, the Blessed Bee deck. This is the Phoenix rising card, and that's really interesting that we would get this particular card. As I'm thinking that, I'm thinking Phoenix Rising, and in the guidebook that came with this brand new deck that I'm using, that's what it's all about. It's right. You're rising from the ashes and look to the light, and you see how light and bright that particular card is. It's really wonderful. Hey Rick, I see you came on. I'm actually up in Rhode Island right now visiting family. Just FYI. Nobody's here but me right now. That's cool. Let's see if we have here's another message that came through. Oh, the Lovers card. These are too interesting. These are all major arcana cards. These are major signposts that something is changed or something has changed and something is changing. The Lovers card is about partnership. It's about how we behave with one another. And again, I really picked up, this number 30 from the Blessing to Lift Sadness card. And then the number, the death card is actually number 13, which is a four card. That's a number of stability. And then we're progressing to, well, it's not a progression, but it's the Lover's card. And this is about finding the right partnerships that bring forward our passion, people of like-minded, who are of like minds, who can help us move forward in our dreams, who we can work forward and create new dreams. And that's actually our central card so far. This is really interesting. So that we have two actual major arcanas, which are very major. They're not just temporary energy, where the minor arcana cards are and the court cards are more temporary energy of the day. These are more overall tone, life, purpose, guidance, that kind of thing. Real signposts, not just, take a right here kind of thing. They're real signs like of something coming up ahead or something that has passed. So we're moving from death into the Lovers, and we're really being reborn through connections with others, like changing the way we speak to one another, changing the way we speak to ourselves is the very first part, and in recognition. And I think in that Blessed Be card, the blessing to lift sadness, that's one of the messages that comes through clearly in that. It's change the way you speak to yourself, change the way you look at yourself, look up, look out. Try to connect and find, oh, hi, okay, we got 3 cards, that just, actually 4. So we'll just take those and let's see what came up. We got the 4 of Wands. So again, I felt that stability coming in with the 13 card of the Death card. So we got the 4 of Wands, which is the ultimate card of stability. This is stability not only in ourselves, but in our surroundings, but within ourselves, I should say. And this is divine support as well. I love the way you've got these amazing, hey Pam, how are you? Good to see you. Amazing, I don't know what kind of creatures they are. They're almost like elk. They're some kind of mythical elk, but they're literally touching the heavens with their unicorn horns. Underneath that is the Strength card, and that's the 8 card. Again, a number 4. I'm seeing 4s. This 13 of Death card breaks down to a 4, and that was immediately what I saw when that card came up. Ace of Pentacles. Again, look at this. This is, again, a card of extreme stability, not just this is like in the 3D, things you can touch. It's not just something that's, of imagination. We've got a tremendous amount of universal support. 10 of Swords. We've just got to let whatever it is die. We've already died. There's a part of us that's already died. And if you can't feel that, you soon will. And it's a matter of letting it go and finding the right partnerships. The bottom of the deck is the 9 of Pentacles. This is a card of extreme independence. This is a card of being independent and sure of yourself, being self-made, having worked really, really hard to have gotten, to have a mastery of not just it's the things that you do. It's music. It's what you put out in the world. This is a very abundant card. All the 9 cards are, but this one in particular is a hugely abundant card. And under that is the Knight of Swords. So, it's not afraid of like going out in the world and being who you are. So we've moved from a blessing from sadness. We've moved from this card here. We've moved from a blessing to lift sadness, and we've moved from there to the Death card. It's like, what do we have to like let die? These are very light and bright cards, huge light and bright cards. For those of you who are joining me on YouTube, I'm trying to try to angle that down so you can see that a little bit better. There you go. But yeah, we've got the Death card here. What has died? We are definitely Phoenix rising from the ashes. We have arisen, very much like, we're coming out of Easter. Yesterday was Easter Monday. This is a card. These are cards of resurrection. These are cards of having died. This is also a card that of death and resurrection. She's being lifted. She's being lifted. We have full divine support behind us. There is nothing that we cannot do. The only thing that stands in our way, as usual, is ourselves. And I'm really drawn to the snake here in the Lover's card. The snake in the Lover's card there has a little apple. But they're not even looking at him. You know, they're very focused on what they're doing. They're very focused on communicating, pulling in their joint resources and moving forward in a very collaborative way. And this is what brings instability. We have the strength to do it. We've got the strength card as well, the Ace of Pentacles. And it's not just, this isn't just personal strength. This is definitely divine strength. The strength that is only exhibited when we are in flow. The strength that we have, the strength to move forward with the right amount of effort, with right effort, righteous effort. She's looking around her to determine the right move, the move to make at the right moment. You know, the cat's in the picture with her. That's it. She's bringing in that cat energy and the swan. She's also bringing that in with grace. She's not just like moving forward in some clunky kind of fashion. She's moving forward with ultimate grace. There's two Siamese cats, like they're out playing. We've got two doves here. She's got her hand on that lion's mouth, like she's not afraid at all. And there's all this peace. Again, look at the symbols of peace above her in the doves. She's not going to, you know, none of what you're going to do is going to come out with, if you stand in your truth, and she's standing solid, coming from this place of darkness. We've risen. We're looking up. We're looking at what's around us. We're bringing in, and one of the messages from the Blessed Bee card was about remembering that whatever got us here, we don't need to sit around and continue to be sorrowful about. The things that the partnerships that we had in the past are what brought us here. And there's reasons for those partnerships, but some of them have had to go to the wayside. It's time to move on and to find new partnerships, particularly with yourself. And that's coming up strongly with the Nine of Pentacles card. That's a card of independence, a self-made person. A self-made person is just somebody who knows how to work well with others and still maintain their own identity. To be in partnership, but still be, you know, be their own selves, to be in their authenticity in order for that partnership to work well, and then for other partnerships to work well. We have to show up only as ourselves. We can't show up as anybody else. I think that's what's Oscar Wilde. Everybody else is taken. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to step away. I'm going to have a little breakfast and some coffee, and work with the cards a little more, and I'll post up on Instagram any other thoughts that come to me. Usually when I start to write, that's when a lot of stuff comes out. My mouth doesn't always say what I see. I catch things a little bit later. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day.